Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where the overwhelming noise of doubt, criticism, and uncertainty can often drown out the one thing that truly matters: belief in yourself. Belief in yourself. And yet, without this belief, all the ambition, all the aspirations, all the potential that you possess will remain locked within you, unable to manifest. Now, let's be clear. Believing in yourself is not some vague, abstract notion that will simply work out if you hope hard enough. No, it requires something deeper, something far more substantial. It requires consistency, a commitment to show up day after day, even when the path is unclear, even when the world seems indifferent, or even hostile to your progress. Because it's in that consistency, that steadfastness, that your character is forged and your potential begins to reveal itself. So I want you to understand this truth today. You are the one who must believe in yourself, and not just when it's easy, not just when the winds are at your back, but when they are in your face. That's when your belief must be unshakable. And from that foundation, consistency will carry you forward, step by step, toward the life you're meant to live. Self-belief is often presented as a mysterious and elusive force, something that seems difficult to grasp or cultivate. Many people believe it is an innate trait, a gift given to some but not to others. But that is not the full truth. Self-belief is not something you are born with. It is something you can develop, something you have the power to shape and strengthen over time. It's not about a moment of inspiration or a sudden burst of confidence. It is about consistency, about showing up for yourself each and every day, regardless of the external circumstances or the doubts that creep in. Think about the many people you admire, the ones who have achieved extraordinary things, who have made a lasting impact in their field. Did they arrive at their success purely because they were confident from the start? No. What sets them apart is their ability to persist in the face of uncertainty, to keep moving forward despite failure, rejection, and the voice of doubt in their minds. Their belief in themselves was built through action, through confronting challenges and proving to themselves that they are capable. Self-belief, in essence, is earned through the ongoing process of proving your own worth to yourself, not through external validation. It starts with understanding that you are the author of your own story. No one else can determine what you're capable of except for you. So often we allow the opinions of others to define us. We allow past failures or the expectations of others to shape our identity and limit our potential. But if you're ever going to accomplish something truly meaningful, you must first reject the idea that others hold the power to dictate your future. The opinions of others are just that, opinions. They are not facts, and they do not determine your worth. Your belief in yourself must come from within, and it must be grounded in the truth that you are capable of growth, that you are not defined by your past mistakes, and that your potential is not limited by anyone else's vision of you. The importance of self-belief cannot be overstated. When you believe in yourself, you begin to take the necessary risks to grow. You make decisions that align with your long-term goals rather than being paralyzed by short-term fears. Self-belief enables you to handle rejection with resilience, to face failure without quitting, and to embrace the discomfort that comes with stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's the quiet voice that tells you to keep going when the world tells you to stop, to keep trying when others say it's not worth it. Without self-belief, the road to success is a treacherous and discouraging one, full of self-doubt and insecurity. But belief is not something that happens overnight. It's something that requires time, effort, and perseverance. It requires you to take action, to set goals, to make decisions that align with the person you want to become. Each step forward, no matter how small, reinforces the belief that you are capable. And this is where the power of consistency comes in. Consistency strengthens self-belief because it's through consistent action that we see results. It's through taking small steps over and over that we begin to build a track record of success. When you show up for yourself day after day, when you put in the effort and the work, you start to see the fruits of your labor. And with that, your belief in yourself grows. But here's the thing. Consistency isn't always glamorous. It isn't always easy. There will be days when you don't feel like it, when you don't feel motivated or inspired. But it is on those days when you feel like giving up that your belief in yourself is truly tested. Self-belief is not about doing what's easy or what feels good in the moment. It's about showing up even when it's hard, even when the results aren't immediate, and even when doubt creeps in. It's about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Over time, this consistency will reinforce your belief in yourself, and it will show you that you are capable of achieving more than you ever thought possible. Your mind has a way of sabotaging your progress, of convincing you that you are not good enough, that you are not capable. These thoughts are natural, but they do not define you. The key is to recognize them for what they are: temporary obstacles that can be overcome through action. Every time you take a step forward, despite your doubts, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Every time you push through the discomfort, you reinforce the belief that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. The journey may be long and challenging, but with each step you build your confidence and your self-belief. Self-belief is also about understanding that setbacks and failures are not indicators of your lack of ability. They are simply part of the process. Failure is inevitable, but it is not a reflection of your worth or potential. It is through failure that you learn, adapt, and grow. When you believe in yourself, you are able to see failure as a lesson, not a roadblock. You understand that it's not the failure that matters, but what you do with it, how you respond to it, and how you use it to fuel your growth. Your growth. Failure, in this sense, becomes a powerful tool that propels you forward because you know that it's not the end. It's just another opportunity to prove that you are capable of more. So, self-belief is not some elusive trait that only a select few possess. It's a skill, one that you can develop through consistent effort and action. It's about choosing to believe in yourself even when the evidence isn't there, and about continuing to move forward despite the obstacles. When you take responsibility for your growth, when you make decisions that align with your highest potential, when you show up for yourself every day, you will see that self-belief is the cornerstone of everything you achieve. Consistency is often misunderstood. People see it as simply showing up every day, but it is so much more than that. It is the commitment to keep moving forward, regardless of how difficult the journey becomes or how many obstacles you encounter along the way. It is the quiet force that drives you to keep working, even when there are no immediate results to show for your efforts. Consistency isn't about motivation. It's about discipline. 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 It's about doing the right thing, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about making small daily decisions that compound over time, leading to lasting change and success. When we talk about consistency, we're not talking about perfection. Perfection is a dangerous illusion that keeps people from even trying. The key is not to be flawless, but to keep going. To keep showing up even when things don't go as planned. The real power of consistency lies in the accumulation of effort, in the small actions taken every day that, when stacked over time, result in transformation. It's the difference between wanting something and committing to the daily actions that will make it happen. Without consistency, no goal, no dream, no ambition will ever come to fruition. It is the glue that holds everything together when the excitement fades and the initial motivation begins to wane. Think about the most successful people you know, whether in business, sports, or any field. What sets them apart is not just talent or luck, but their ability to remain consistent in their efforts. They don't give up when the going gets tough. They persist. They don't wait for the perfect moment to take action. They take action every day, regardless of how they feel. They've learned that true progress isn't made in bursts of inspiration, but through steady, continuous effort. It's the habits they've built over time that keep them on track, even when their motivation falters. And that's why consistency is so crucial. It's what allows you to keep moving forward, even when the excitement wears off and the challenges start to mount. It's easy to be enthusiastic at the beginning of a new venture. Yeah, we all experience that initial surge of motivation when we decide to start something new, whether it's a fitness routine, a new project, or a personal goal. But motivation is fleeting. It doesn't last, and it won't carry you through the difficult days. What keeps you going when motivation is absent is consistency. When you've made a commitment to yourself, when you've developed the discipline to continue, even in the absence of enthusiasm, you create momentum. Momentum is the magic that happens when small, consistent actions begin to build on each other. And before you know it, you've made significant progress. The key to consistency is setting realistic expectations. It's understanding that success doesn't happen overnight. The journey is long, and there will be many setbacks along the way. But each setback, each failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you commit to consistency, you're not just committing to success, you're committing to the process. And the process is what will ultimately lead you to your goals. If you're too focused on the end result, you might miss the value of the journey itself. Every step, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. The path to success isn't linear, and there will be times when you feel like giving up. But if you keep showing up, if you remain consistent in your efforts, you'll eventually see the fruits of your labor. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it builds confidence. When you consistently show up for yourself, when you consistently put in the effort, you start to trust yourself. You begin to believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way because you've demonstrated to yourself that you have the discipline and the perseverance to keep going, no matter the circumstances. Consistency is a form of self-respect. It shows you that you're willing to do what it takes to achieve your goals, even when it's not easy. And when you consistently show up, you build a sense of pride and accomplishment, which strengthens your belief in your ability to succeed. But consistency requires patience. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but progress is often invisible in the short term. You can't always see the small improvements you're making each day, but over time, those small improvements add up. It's like planting a seed. At first, there's nothing to show for it, but with consistent care over time, that seed will grow into something substantial. The same is true for your efforts. Each day that you show up, you're planting the seeds of success. And while you may not see the results immediately, you're building the foundation for long-term growth. The power of consistency lies in its cumulative effect. It's the small, repeated actions that over time led to big results. Sometimes consistency can feel monotonous. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. Days when the task ahead seems overwhelming and the progress feels slow. But those are the moments that test your character. Those are the moments when your commitment to consistency is truly tested. And it's in those moments that you must dig deep and remember why you started in the first place. It's the ability to continue when you don't feel like it, when you don't see the payoff right away. That separates those who succeed from those who quit. It doesn't always come with immediate rewards or applause, but it is the backbone of success. Without it, your dreams will remain just that, dreams. With consistency, you build the foundation for everything you want to achieve. It's the secret that all high achievers know, and it's available to you as well. If you commit to consistency, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Taking responsibility for your growth is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even luck for where you find yourself in life. But the truth is that your life, your results, and your progress are largely determined by the choices you make and the responsibility you take for your actions, or lack thereof. When you decide to take full responsibility for your own growth, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop waiting for someone or something to change before you take action. You take control. And you realize that you are the one who has the power to shape your future. It's a hard truth to accept, but it is also incredibly liberating. So many people live in a cycle of blaming their environment or the people around them for their lack of success or happiness. They look at their circumstances, whether it's their upbringing, their current job, or the people in their lives, and they use these things as excuses for not achieving their potential. But when you start taking responsibility for your growth, you stop seeing these things as barriers and start viewing them as opportunities. You begin to realize that you have the power to change, to grow, and to overcome any obstacle. You are not bound by the past, and you are not limited by the opinions of others. Your potential is limitless, but only if you choose to take responsibility for your part in unlocking it. It's important to note that responsibility isn't about blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong in your life. It's not about internalizing failure or carrying guilt for things you can't control. Responsibility is about ownership. The ownership of your actions, your choices, and your response to the circumstances you face. Life is unpredictable, and things will happen outside of your control. But how you react to these situations, how you choose to learn from them, and how you decide to move forward is entirely within your control. When you take responsibility, you accept that no one else is coming to fix things for you. The power is in your hands, and that realization is both empowering and daunting. Once you understand that you are in charge of your own growth, you begin to make different choices. You start to see the importance of discipline, of putting in the work even when it's hard, even when the results are not immediate. You understand that success is not handed to you, it's earned through the consistent effort you put forth. But responsibility also means owning your failures. If you fail at something, you don't make excuses or try to deflect the blame. You take responsibility for the mistake, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Growth doesn't happen by avoiding failure. It happens by embracing it, understanding its lessons, and using it as fuel to do better next time. One of the most difficult aspects of taking responsibility for your growth is facing the discomfort that comes with it. When you start taking ownership, you realize that growth is uncomfortable. It requires you to step outside of your comfort zone to confront your weaknesses and to face the fears that have held you back. It's easy to stay where you are, to stay in a place that feels safe and familiar. But true growth only happens when you're willing to step into the unknown. It's about pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible and acknowledging that you are capable of far more than you realize. Taking responsibility means facing the discomfort of uncertainty, taking risks, and trusting yourself to handle the challenges that come your way. Taking responsibility for your growth also means not waiting for others to validate you. Too often, people look for external validation before they take action. They wait for someone to tell them they are capable, or for an external sign that they are on the right path. But real growth happens when you stop waiting for permission. You don't need anyone's approval to start taking action. You are your own validation. When you take responsibility for your growth, you stop looking outside of yourself for reassurance. You trust that your efforts, your actions, and your decisions will lead you to the right place, even if others don't see the value in them right away. When you take responsibility for your growth, you also learn the importance of consistency. Success isn't achieved through a single moment of brilliance. It's achieved through a commitment to daily progress. Taking responsibility means showing up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when you're not seeing immediate results. It's the small, consistent actions that over time lead to significant transformation. But this requires discipline and patience. It requires you to trust the process, even when you don't see immediate reward. You take responsibility by making the choice to continue, to persist, and to improve every day, regardless of external circumstances. Furthermore, taking responsibility for your growth means owning your strengths as much as your weaknesses. Too many people shy away from their strengths because they feel uncomfortable acknowledging them. They downplay their achievements or hide behind self-doubt. But if you're going to grow, you need to acknowledge your potential and embrace your capabilities. You need to own your skills, your talents, and your abilities. Taking responsibility means not just confronting your shortcomings, but also recognizing and celebrating your strengths. When you do this, you begin to realize that you are already capable of achieving greatness. You just need to start owning it and putting it into practice. When you fully embrace the responsibility of your own growth, you begin to see the world differently. You stop waiting for the perfect opportunity or the perfect moment. You stop hoping for things to change and start making the changes yourself. Responsibility allows you to take ownership of your life. And when you do that, you unlock the power to create the future you want. You understand that growth is not a passive experience. It's an active pursuit that requires you to take action, face challenges, and continually push yourself forward. And once you accept that responsibility, you will realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. Failure is often perceived as the enemy, something to be avoided at all costs. Society has ingrained in us the idea that failure is a sign of incompetence, weakness, or inadequacy. We're taught from a young age that failure is something shameful, something that reflects poorly on us. But in reality, failure is not the enemy. It is an essential part of the growth process, a necessary step on the path to success. The key is not to avoid failure, but to learn how to embrace it, how to use it as a tool for growth and development. When we fail, it's easy to feel defeated, to let the disappointment wash over us and convince us that we are not capable, that we're not good enough. It's natural to feel this way, especially when the stakes are high and the outcome matters. But the truth is, failure does not define us. Define us. It is simply a reflection of the fact that we attempted something and it didn't work out the way we hoped. The important part is what happens next. Do we let failure define us, or do we learn from it and continue moving forward? If we choose the latter, failure becomes not a setback, but a stepping stone. The fear of failure often holds people back from taking action, from pursuing their dreams. We fear that if we fail, we'll be judged, criticized, or rejected. We fear that failure will be permanent, that it will mark us in some irreversible way. But in reality, failure is rarely permanent. It's a temporary experience, one that can be turned into a powerful learning opportunity. Every time we fail, we gain insight. We learn what doesn't work, what needs to be adjusted, and what we need to do differently next time. Without failure, we would never learn or grow. It is through failure that we discover our limits and learn how to push past them. It is through failure that we build resilience, determination, and the strength to continue. The most successful people in the world are not those who have never failed, but those who have failed the most and kept going. They understand that failure is part of the process. They've failed many times, but instead of letting it stop them, they've used it to fuel their success. Failure teaches us perseverance. It teaches us to get back up no matter how many times we fall. And it is in that getting up, that continuing to push forward, that our true growth happens. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of failure, but the ability to overcome it, to keep going in spite of it. We also need to recognize that failure is not a reflection of our worth. It is not a judgment on who we are as people. We often internalize failure thinking that if we fail, we are somehow less valuable, less capable. But this is simply not true. Failure is just a part of the process of achieving something meaningful. It's a necessary step that everyone who has ever achieved greatness has experienced. It doesn't make you less of a person. It simply means that you are attempting something, that you are putting yourself out there, that you are trying to grow and improve. And that is something to be proud of. When we fail, we also learn the importance of adaptability. Failure teaches us that we cannot always predict the outcome of our efforts. It shows us that things don't always go according to plan, and that's okay. What matters is our ability to adapt, to adjust our approach, and to keep moving forward. Failure forces us to think critically about our actions, to reassess our strategies, and to find new ways of tackling the challenges we face. If we let failure teach us this lesson, we become more flexible, more creative, and more resourceful. We learn to approach obstacles not with fear, but with curiosity and problem-solving skills. Another valuable lesson that failure teaches us is the importance of resilience. It is easy to be successful when everything is going well, when things are falling into place and the path ahead is clear. But true character is built when things get tough. Resilience is developed when we face setbacks and challenges head-on, when we refuse to give up no matter how hard things get. Failure helps us build resilience by showing us what we're made of. It challenges us to keep going even when we feel like quitting, to push through the discomfort, to keep believing in ourselves even when the evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Resilience is what allows us to bounce back from failure, to take the lessons learned and apply them to our next attempt. Failure also teaches us the value of patience. In our fast-paced, instant gratification world, we often expect quick results. We want to see immediate success, and when we don't, it's easy to feel discouraged. But failure reminds us that success is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that takes time, effort, and a willingness to fail along the way. Patience is required because the road to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, of setbacks and detours. Failure helps us understand that it's okay to take the time we need to get it right. It teaches us that slow and steady progress is often more sustainable than rushing toward a goal without considering the lessons along the way. When you understand that failure is not the end, but rather a part of the process, you begin to look at it differently. Instead of seeing failure as something to fear or avoid, you begin to see it as an opportunity to grow. You start to realize that every failure is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to become better. And when you embrace failure in this way, it loses its power over you. It no longer holds you back. Instead, it propels you forward, helping you to achieve your goals and reach new heights that you never thought possible. Believing in yourself is the foundation of all success. Without belief, there is no drive, no purpose, and no momentum. It is the internal force that propels you forward, even when the world around you might suggest you should stop. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking that you're better than others. It's about having a deep, unwavering trust in your own abilities, your potential, and your capacity to overcome challenges. It's knowing that no matter what obstacles you encounter, you have the strength to face them and the resilience to move through them. It's understanding that your worth is not defined by your current circumstances, but by the potential within you to rise above them. The power of self-belief is undeniable. It's what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. When you believe in yourself, you approach challenges with a different mindset. You don't see setbacks as a reason to quit. You see them as opportunities to learn and grow. You don't see failure as something personal, but as a lesson that brings you one step closer to your success. When you have confidence in your own abilities, you stop questioning your decisions. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop waiting for validation from others. You know that you are the one who has the power to shape your future, and that belief fuels your actions. One of the key aspects of self-belief is the ability to trust your own intuition. Too often, people are swayed by the opinions of others, allowing external voices to drown out their inner knowing. When you truly believe in yourself, you learn to trust your gut, to listen to that quiet voice inside that guides you in the right direction. Self-belief means trusting that you know what's best for you, even when others may not understand or agree with your choices. This trust is not something that comes naturally to everyone, but it can be developed over time by learning to trust yourself, by taking action and seeing the results of your decisions, and by recognizing that mistakes and missteps are not failures, but part of the process of growth. However, self-belief is not about expecting things to be easy. It's about recognizing that the road to success is paved with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles, but also knowing that you are capable of navigating them. It's about understanding that life is not a straight path and that there will be times when things don't go according to plan. But when you believe in yourself, you know that these challenges are not the end. They are simply a detour, a chance to learn, adapt, and keep moving forward. Self-belief is about resilience, the ability to keep going when things get tough, to keep pushing when the road seems impossible, and to keep believing that you can reach your destination. Another important aspect of self-belief is the understanding that you are worthy of success. Many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness, thinking that they don't deserve to achieve their dreams or that they are somehow less than others. This mindset creates a barrier between them and their goals. But self-belief is rooted in the understanding that you are just as deserving as anyone else of the success, happiness, and fulfillment that you seek. Your worth is not based on what you've achieved or how others perceive you. It is inherent in who you are. When you truly believe in yourself, you recognize that you have something valuable to offer the world, and you begin to show up as your best self. Believing in yourself also means being willing to invest in your growth. When you have confidence in your own potential, you are more likely to take the steps necessary to develop and improve. You're willing to put in the work, to invest time and resources into your personal development. Self-belief leads to the recognition that you have the ability to learn, to grow, and to become better. And with this belief, you are motivated to take action, to seek out the opportunities that will help you expand your skills, and to pursue the things that will bring you closer to your goals. It's the foundation of ambition, the fuel that drives you to seek more, to do more, and to be more. However, self-belief is also closely tied to patience. While it's important to have confidence in your abilities, it's equally important to understand that growth takes time. Just because you believe in yourself doesn't mean that things will happen immediately or that success will come overnight. You need to be patient with yourself and with the process. Believing in yourself means having the faith to stay the course, even when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. It means trusting that every small step forward is still progress, and that consistency over time will eventually yield the results you seek. In addition, self-belief is reinforced by taking responsibility for your own life. When you truly believe in yourself, you understand that you are the architect of your own destiny. You take ownership of your decisions, your actions, and your outcomes. You stop blaming others, stop making excuses, and stop waiting for things to change on their own. You recognize that you are the one who has the power to create the life you desire, and this understanding strengthens your belief in your ability to make things happen. Self-belief isn't just about having a positive outlook. It's about taking control of your actions and making choices that align with your goals. Furthermore, self-belief doesn't mean that you won't face doubts or insecurities. Everyone experiences moments of doubt. Even the most successful people face times when they question their abilities or wonder if they are on the right path. But the key is learning to navigate those doubts without letting them control you. Self-belief doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means moving forward despite it. It means acknowledging that fear and doubt are normal, but not allowing them to hold you back. When you truly believe in yourself, you learn how to manage those moments of uncertainty and keep moving toward your goals, even when the path ahead feels unclear. Unclear. The power of believing in yourself lies in its ability to change your entire outlook on life. When you have confidence in your abilities, you become more open to opportunities. You are more willing to take risks, to try new things, and to step outside of your comfort zone. You approach challenges with a sense of optimism and determination, knowing that no matter how difficult the task may seem, you have the ability to handle it. Self-belief shifts your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility, and this shift can make all the difference in your success and fulfillment. Consistency is the bridge that connects your dreams to reality. It is the discipline to keep showing up day after day, even when the results are not immediately visible. Consistency is not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it is the driving force behind long-term success. Many people begin their journeys with enthusiasm, excitement, and a burst of energy. They start off strong, motivated by the idea of achieving their goals, but somewhere along the way they lose momentum. They stop showing up because the progress seems slow or the rewards seem distant. The truth is that achieving greatness requires consistency, not just in the good times, but also when the path seems unclear or the journey feels difficult. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about doing the work even when you don't feel like it and continuing despite setbacks or obstacles. Every small action you take, every bit of effort you put in, compounds over time, building towards something greater. The key to achieving anything significant is the commitment to showing up every single day, doing what needs to be done, and trusting that these small efforts will eventually lead to big results. It's easy to be motivated at the beginning of a project, but true growth comes from the ability to sustain that effort over time through highs and lows, successes and failures. One of the main reasons people struggle with consistency is that they are too focused on the immediate outcome. We live in a world of instant gratification where we expect to see quick results and immediate rewards for our efforts. When the results don't come right away, it's easy to get discouraged and give up. But consistency teaches us that growth is a process, not an event. It teaches us that the small actions we take every day may not seem significant in the moment, but they add up over time. Just as a seed grows into a tree over the course of years, so too does our progress. The key is to trust the process, even when we can't see the immediate results. Consistency also requires patience. It's easy to want to rush to the finish line, but real success is built over time. The ability to stick with something, even when the progress is slow, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up. It's about showing up each day with the mindset that every step you take is bringing you closer to your goal, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. Patience is necessary because true change takes time, and consistency allows you to see that change unfold gradually. It's the steady, persistent effort that leads to real transformation. Another important aspect of consistency is learning to embrace discipline. Consistency is rooted in self-discipline, the ability to make choices that align with your long-term goals, even when they're not easy or comfortable. It's about creating habits that serve your success and sticking to them, even when motivation is low. Discipline means showing up even when you'd rather stay in bed, or when distractions seem more appealing. It's about making the decision to take action every day, regardless of your mood or the circumstances. Discipline strengthens your ability to stay consistent, and over time, that discipline becomes second nature. It's not about forcing yourself to do the work, but about cultivating the mindset that doing the work is just what you do day after day. Consistency also builds momentum. When you make the decision to show up every day, to keep putting in the effort, you start to create a snowball effect. Each small action you take builds upon the last, creating a sense of progress and forward motion. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achieving your goals because it makes everything easier. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes to keep going, and the harder it is to stop. Momentum carries you through the difficult days and keeps you on track, even when things aren't going according to plan. The key is to get started, to build that initial momentum, and then maintain it by continuing to show up consistently. Consistency also means accepting that setbacks are a part of the journey. No one's path to success is smooth. There will be times when you stumble, when you make mistakes, or when things don't go as planned. But consistency teaches you to keep going even when things get tough. It's about getting back up after every failure, learning from it, and continuing to move forward. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the ones who avoid failure, but the ones who don't let failure stop them. They understand that setbacks are temporary, and they remain committed to their goals regardless of the obstacles they face. Consistency is what allows you to push through these difficult times and keep working toward your vision. One of the benefits of consistency is that it strengthens your self-belief. The more consistent you are with your efforts, the more you prove to yourself that you can achieve your goals. Each time you show up and do the work, you reaffirm your commitment to your own success. You start to believe that you are capable of achieving great things because you've demonstrated through consistent action that you are willing to put in the effort. This belief becomes a powerful motivator, propelling you forward and encouraging you to keep going even when things seem hard. Consistency also means focusing on the long term rather than getting caught up in short-term distractions. It's easy to get distracted by immediate gratification or to compare your progress to others. But true success comes from staying focused on your own path and continuing to move forward, regardless of the distractions around you. When you stay consistent, you're not just working toward a goal, you're building the character, discipline, and habits that will carry you through life's challenges. These qualities will serve you long after the goal has been achieved. And finally, consistency is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently. It's about focusing on the actions that will actually move you closer to your goals and making sure that you do them every day, no matter what. It's not about being busy. It's about being purposeful. When you commit to consistent action, you make sure that every day is another step in the right direction. The key to success is not doing everything at once, but doing the right things consistently. The results may not be immediate, but with consistent effort, you will find that your dreams are within reach.